Ladies and gentlemen, I'm enormously touched that you should have invited me to address you all at the India Global Forum as you prepare to discuss economic and environmental sustainability, India's role within that, and how best to approach COP26 in this most important of years. Now, I'm only so sorry not to be with you in person to speak with the most dynamic and innovative leaders of today and tomorrow. Precisely with the lives and livelihoods of present and future generations in mind, I set up my Sustainable Markets Initiative in January 2020 to bring together CEOs in almost every sector, from aviation to plastics, with the express aim of identifying obstacles to progress, along with game-changing ways to accelerate the transition to a zero-carbon future. In January this year, I launched the Terra Carta as the mandate of my Sustainable Markets Initiative and the basis of a recovery plan for nature, people, and planet. At this historic tipping point, the Terra Carta offers 10 short articles for action, a roadmap, if you like, for acceleration towards a genuinely sustainable future, one that harnesses the power of nature combined with the transformative innovation and resources of the private sector. Earlier this month, I spoke with the G7 on this very issue, and I have also recently convened roundtable meetings with Commonwealth leaders from Africa, Asia, the Caribbean and Pacific, where we have identified large financing gaps around sustainable transition in the areas of green energy, water, sanitation, transport, and other critical infrastructure. With India's global reach and robust private sector, I believe there are some key ways we can work together to accelerate our efforts and build a more sustainable future. Firstly, we need to focus on accelerating the flow of private capital to support the transition. This is why, at the recent G7 summit, I launched 10 Terra Carta transition coalitions, along with an effort to unlock the investment to investables pipeline. This requires both clear market signals from government at the industry level, but also a pipeline of investment-ready projects. And here, with the help of the Big Four global accounting firms, my Sustainable Markets Initiative has developed a blueprint to support the development of projects with a sufficient level of detail to be considered for private investment. These projects are also very often require an element of risk capital, which is something we are raising as an issue with the global public sector. Secondly, to use an industry-based example, if we want to increase investment into the decarbonisation of aviation, a clear market signal is needed. The SMI's Aviation Task Force is calling for a mandate of at least 10% sustainable aviation fuel by 2030. This market signal, ladies and gentlemen, would create the confidence in the market for investment and industry action in the right direction. I need hardly say that in order to make the progress that is needed throughout the global aviation sector, it would, of course, make the whole difference if as much of the Indian aviation sector as possible was to join the SMI task force. And of course, we must also look at similar solutions for sustainable fuels across the shipping industry. Thirdly, we must accelerate the transition away from coal in a way that both provides reliable clean energy solutions, but that also supports a just transition where workers are provided with training and opportunities in line with more sustainable industries. In addition, as we look to transition, we must explore, as a matter of real urgency, the potential of carbon capture, use and storage to address current and legacy carbon in our atmosphere, without which we will simply never buy enough time to prevent irreversible climate change. I know, for instance, that renewable energy, particularly solar power, is rapidly gaining ground in India and is an excellent example to the rest of the world. Fourthly, to accelerate and transform global agriculture and food systems in a more sustainable direction, we must look to adopt a clear set of global farm metrics that will better enable investors and consumers to understand the relative sustainability of agricultural products and supply chains. This is something my Sustainable Markets Initiative and the Sustainable Food Trust, of which I am patron, is actively developing and piloting. With agriculture being so critical to the Indian economy, there is a real opportunity to explore how such metrics could support the lives and livelihoods of farmers in India, as well as wider supply chains and markets. Fifthly, and finally, with a growing number of country and corporate net zero commitments, we need to build a credible offset market, one that focuses both on nature-based and technology-based solutions. This is absolutely critical to acceleration. With India being a global centre for technology and innovation, combined with a deep connection to nature and harmony, you have an absolutely vital role to play in this effort. Particularly, if I may say so, in view of India's wealth of young entrepreneurial talent, some of whom I know are here today, and who will be utterly critical to finding solutions to the greatest of our challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, this work will be further developed in the lead up to the G20 and COP26, where I know India and its private sector will perform an essential part. So I can only hope and pray that you will join me in advancing this very important collective endeavour, and also bearing in mind the enormous added value and influence of many more companies singing from the same hymn sheet, that you will consider joining the Sustainable Markets Initiative's India Council. It is my greatest hope that these efforts will benefit all countries seeking sustainable investment to accelerate their transition. And I send everyone taking part in this forum my warmest good wishes.